Welcome to Mortgages and More, your go-to podcast for the latest insights in the mortgage industry. Join us as we dive into expert advice, unveil actionable tips, and learn how to empower the next generation of home buyers. Get ready to elevate your knowledge and make those property dreams a reality. Let's get started.
All right. I still get pumped up when I hear that voice.
Yeah, I mean, that's exciting.
I'm Brian
You made
View.
mortgages sound fun.
Yeah. Welcome to Mortgages and More. I'm Brian View. That voice you just heard is Kyle Draper, my co-host. Kyle, good to see you, buddy.
Dude, it's so much more awkward when you actually have to be on here and listen to yourself like that.
Right on.
Golly. Excited to be here, Brian.
Well, let's get rolling.
Yeah, let's get started. That's what the intro said we're going to do today. We're so excited to be here, guys. We are rolling out. This will be one of our first ones, so I think we should set the stage and let people know what they can expect. We've got a book coming out in February called Rethink Everything You Know About Being a Loan Officer, working title. That could be a little bit different by the time this is airing, but we are taking all of the authors that are contributing to this book, and we are putting out little 8-minute mini episodes where you can get a slight glimpse into what they're going to write about, but then also we're going to talk about what didn't make the cut. What was plan number 2? What was part B that you had to cut painstakingly? And so I want to introduce you guys to a really dear friend of mine, Jason Stier. He is a loan officer here in Dallas-Fort Worth with me. We have been it feels like we've been friends for an eternity now, but maybe it's just, it hasn't been as long as I'd like to think that it has. Maybe we've just worn on each other and that's why it feels this way. But man, you are just such a man of conviction. You are an incredible husband and father. You love this country as much as anybody I've ever met. And you don't just say you love it, you prove it by being so committed to the veterans in our country and helping them understand and realize the dream that can be theirs in home ownership. And so, bro, give a quick intro for yourself and then very quickly drop a little nugget of what people can expect from you in the book.
So thanks. I appreciate you guys doing this. I mean, things like this, whether we like to believe it or not, can have an effect on people's lives. Right. Yeah. I mean, I like to think that that's the overarching effect that we can have. So I appreciate you having me here, and I appreciate the kind words. I've been in the mortgage business a little over 20 years, worn a lot of different hats. I'm from Oklahoma originally, and I moved to Dallas-Fort Worth, about 11 years ago. So I'm not a native Texan, but I feel like I am. Just the vibe that Texas is, right? I mean,
we'll claim
yeah, well, it's okay. Even though I'm an OU fan, so that's okay. But
you ruined the episode.
I know. Everybody's
start
gonna
over.
Turn it off. Yeah, that's it. We have so much that we can be thankful for about what we have here, right? In this business and what it does for our lives. And, just a glimpse about it. It may not be what you think, right? I mean, I do a lot of VA loans. I serve the veteran community. I advocate for them, inside and outside of the VA home loan benefit. So one might think that would be just about VA loans, right? I'm going to kind of switch it up a little bit.
Love it.
I can't wait.
So I'm not going to, I don't want to, I don't want to give away too much, obviously, because we want you to buy the book. But some of the things, that's kind of what didn't make the book, is I think it would be easy for me to talk about the home loan itself, right? I can talk about that ad nauseum. Right. But it's more than that, right? What we do here and who I do it for is a very emotional thing for me. So I want to make sure that people understand the impact of what that looks like and who we serve, not just in the benefit itself, but what it's done for me. And because I would like to think that there are other loan officers or people in this industry that are out there that may have been like me 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And completely change the course of who they are and what they do by embracing this, right? And finding out who you are and discovering who and those types of things. So I'm excited about it. So I can't wait for it to come out and get to work and see people's reactions to it.
So Jason, you and I are literally meeting each other on screen for the first time. And so I don't have the benefit of the relationship that you and Kyle have, but just hearing what you described, I'm like, I got goosebumps, ready to get the book, ready to see your chapter. What I heard was you discovered your why about 11 years ago. And, that is literally kind of put you on this current trajectory in business and probably in life beyond business.
Yeah, and I think that's the beautiful thing about this is that people will say that I had somebody tell me one time, it's the old cliche, don't mix personal and business, right? You got to keep those things separate. And I certainly understand the meaning behind that, but also why can't it be?
Yeah.
Why can't your business be personal to you? Why does it have to be about numbers or money or things that are inanimate and non-emotional? It can be all of those things. Right. And I think, what I've always tried to teach LOs and what somebody poured into me all these years ago was that our job as humans is to build communities around ourselves. You look at churches, right? They build communities, right? And to me, it's not on the same level, but it's the same theory is that our job is to build a community. And I'd like to think that I've tried to show people that as an example of what you can do if you just let go, right? And you pour your heart and soul into those things and not just affect your business, but it affects your family. It affects how you raise your kids, the lessons that you teach them, what you introduce them to. So what we do here and what we can do here goes so far beyond taking a loan app. If you just allow it to be and just open up your mind a little bit. And I think that's the beautiful thing about what we get to do here.
Jason, in the last minute or so, because you and I have talked about this a lot and you teach on this a lot, will you pick one misconception that some LOs, but definitely a lot of realtors have when it comes to the VA loan and kind of dispel that for us?
Yeah. I mean, the overarching theme is they're difficult, right? They're difficult just as a whole, whether it's the appraisal process or whatever that is. And I think the biggest thing, the most important thing we can do as an industry is to educate ourselves, right? That's it. The greatest threat to veteran home ownership is ignorance, not the benefit itself, right? The benefit is an inanimate object. We are responsible as professionals to defend that benefit, right?
Love it.
So I want to make sure that I can talk about one particular thing, but I think it's important that we understand that the umbrella over that is we have the responsibility to learn their benefit, not the other way around. They shouldn't be teaching us because they don't know.
Right.
Education is where it starts. And that's what I've built my entire business on. And basically who I am is just an educator.
I'm up here in Michigan, and there's a group called Vet Life, and their sole mission is to educate veterans on all of the benefits that they've earned. And in the VA loan benefit is certainly one of those. I had a meeting with the folks about a month ago, and I was shocked at how few veterans understand what they've earned and more importantly, how to access it. So I love what you described there. I love what your mission is. Again, can't wait to dig into your chapter in the book.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Bro, thanks for being on with us.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you guys having me, and I'm excited about this, man. It scares the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I've never written anything in my life since I was in high school. But the importance of it, and I'm gonna say this for everybody who watches this, and Kyle said this one time, is that if you do things because of your own ego, the people who suffer are the people who need to hear that message. And so what I believe is irrelevant. I'm going to do it because the people out there need to hear it.
So good.
Come on.
So good. All right. Day one of our 30 and 30. We are dropping 30 episodes of the Mortgages More podcast. Come back tomorrow for episode 2. Thanks, Jason. Great to see you, Kyle.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
See
you.
you guys.